This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Haley is off tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Not in My Backyard takes a new twist at US 41 and Stickney Point Road in Sarasota. While discussion continues about a major development there, ABC7 has learned the homeless have set up camp on the overgrown property. ABC7's Ray Collins joins us now with the latest on the Siesta Promenade debate. Ray?
That's right, Scott. Developers were asking for a zoning change for all the condos, but now they might be backing off that request. In the meantime, we've learned that empty land is not entirely empty. US 41 at Stickney Point. It's busy, and that's why developers want to build there. It's busy, and that's why neighbors say enough is enough.
It's going to make it horrible. If traffic is bad now, and I know what it's like getting onto the quay, can you imagine what it's going to be like after that?
Jackie is among those who came to a workshop Monday night, sponsored by Benderson Development. Plans at one point involved 500 condos, which is nearly twice as many as zoning allows.
They should only put there what they're entitled to based on the commercial general zoning, which is 13 units per acre, not 25 units per acre.
But get this, Benderson's Todd Mathis says those numbers might be changing.
So it's really the first step in a long process. Even though we've been at it for a long time, we got reset by the commission and we're seeking feedback.
So you're not locked into those numbers?
No, not at all.
It's all garbage.
Back at the property, neighbors around the now empty land owned by Benderson showed us where the homeless have set up tents and belongings.
I want to be on the news.
You will be. We even encountered several of them returning to their makeshift neighborhood.
I'm not surprised. In fact, my next door neighbor had a break-in and vandalism yesterday.
Kochman's not surprised, but Benderson is.
I hadn't heard any of that, but certainly if there's a property management issue, we'll take care of it right away.
And while Mathis takes care of that right away, Kochman is bracing for what happens next on this property.
It's a hot potato.
Well, it should be in front of the planning board sometime in the next few months in Sarasota County, Scott.
And that land has been vacant for quite a while, hasn't it, Ray?
You know, 12 years ago, I first covered this story. It was a gas station and a trailer park there, and residents were bought out. But that previous development never happened once the recession kicked in. But 2017 could be a year of change on that property.
All right, we'll wait and see. Ray, thank you so much. In Palmetto tonight, city officials move closer to a decision on whether they'll prohibit auto repair businesses from a stretch of road. The city is pushing to help beautify that section of historic 10th Avenue West from 17th Street all the way south to Riverside Drive. The push is to lessen traffic congestion on the roadways and make it more pedestrian friendly. And city officials say auto repair shops promote traffic. Palmetto Mayor Shirley Groover Bryant says the traffic and beautification project has been planned over the next 4 years, and the passing of this ordinance is part of that plan.
The FDOT projects that are feasible will be incorporating the Complete Streets program with them. So that means that you would have corridors for the pedestrians, the bicyclists, and try to kind of steer away from so much mobile traffic.
There's been some mixed reaction in the community on this plan. Some believe the ordinance would be a little too restrictive to businesses. A final decision on the ordinance is expected to take place in early January. Palmetto's mayor also shed some light on how medical marijuana dispensaries will operate in the city. Bryant says the board has been ahead of the curve since 2014 when medical marijuana was first placed on the ballot. And since its passing last month, the commission has the guidelines for a dispensary ironed out.
We were just trying to be proactive and protect everyone involved, because we felt like that was the best direction, because we felt like it was coming down the road and something that we needed to deal with. So we just went ahead and dealt with it in 2014 so that people had a clear understanding about the city of Palmetto.
Since medical marijuana is not legal on a federal level, Bryant says the restrictions are a little tighter. A dispensary would be a cash-only business with no alcohol or marijuana consumption on site, and it would not be able to open within 200 feet of a school or a residential area. 14 years of service, East Manatee's fire rescue chief is retiring. Byron Teets joined the fire department back in 1984 when the East Manatee District annual budget was just about $108,000. The department has since grown to 6 fire stations and a $12 million budget. Many say the chief played a big part in the fire department's development.
You know, when you work some
someplace for so long, they become a second family. It's definitely been a roller coaster. I think, excuse me, I think the district will be left in good hands.
And his replacement as the East Manatee Fire Chief will be Deputy Chief Lee Whitehurst. Before this past summer, Florida hadn't been hit by a hurricane in more than a decade, but this year the luck ran out. Hermine and Matthew both impacting the state, and now we're learning the cost of the damage they left behind. State insurance agencies say the storms caused more than $1.5 billion in damage, but those numbers do not include agricultural losses and damage handled by local governments without state assistance. Still, it could have been worse. Damage from the 4 hurricanes that hit the state back in 2004 cost $45 billion. Red tide continues to bother beachgoers on the Suncoast. The toxic algae has been around since late summer. Florida Fish and Wildlife finding scattered outbreaks from very low to high concentrations of red tide in Manatee and Sarasota counties. Slight respiratory irritation is being reported at Manasota, Lido Key, and Nokomis Beach, with fish kills being reported in some parts of Charlotte County. Let's get more on that and our weather tonight with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. Bob?
Yeah, the latest from the FWC actually shows and pinpoints the areas that are getting hit the hardest by the red tide. The areas in red that you see right there have the highest concentrations, and that's 1 million cells per liter. And also down near New Pass and Big Pass, not as many down there in terms of Siesta Key, but there's one just to the end there near Big Pass, and New Pass has the most concentration. But you'll notice it's spotty along Longboat Key. Spots are separated there, and anywhere south of Siesta Key there, not many reports as far as the red tide is concerned in heavy or high concentrations or medium concentrations, but there are some down in Charlotte Harbor, and that is going to be a concern, I think, as we move through the week. 73 degrees right now, very warm, very muggy out there, and winds are out of the north at 8 miles an hour. Those winds are helping keep the fog away temporarily, but boy, it was a hot day today. Look at this, Fort Myers, record high 91 degrees, the warmest temperature ever recorded in the month of December there since records began in early 1900s. Lakeland topped out at 87 degrees. That also set a record high. And in St. Petersburg, tied at 83. So the heat goes on. I'll let you know more about this coming up in just a few minutes. Scott?
Okay, Bob, thank you. In Berlin tonight, shock, grief, and anger. A huge truck plowed into crowds of Christmas shoppers in a scene grimly like one in France over the summer. 12 people are now known dead, more than 40 injured. But was it terrorism? They're not using that term yet to describe what happened. ABC's Elizabeth Herr reports.
A picture postcard street scene of peaceful Christmas shoppers suddenly plunged into bloodshed. This massive delivery truck became an engine of destruction, ramming its way the length of a football field through an outdoor Christmas market before crashing to a halt.
First we heard glass breaking, a lot of people running away and a lot of people crying, shouting.
It went just past me, past my girlfriend. I think it missed me by 3 meters, missed her by 5.
The truck tore through tables and kiosks, leaving a trail of carnage.
I saw one guy being dragged away with blood on his face. I helped several other people.
A man believed to be the truck driver was arrested after fleeing the scene. He is being questioned. Police say another man in the truck during the mayhem died in the crash. Authorities say it is too soon to tell if this was terrorism. In November, the State Department warned Americans traveling in Europe to be wary of large gatherings that could attract terrorist strikes. And ISIS has urged its followers to copy this attack in France last July when an ISIS terrorist in this truck rammed a crowd in Nice, murdering 89 people. Among the Berlin casualties, this Christmas tree toppled by the violence.
For weeks, U.S. officials have been warning about the possible threat of large trucks attacking big crowds during the holiday season, issuing a bulletin saying holiday celebrations lasting through the inauguration could be targeted. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
The Russian ambassador to Turkey is assassinated during a speech today at a photography exhibition. Andrei Karlov was shot several times. The gunman was later killed by police. Russia's foreign minister saying the ambassador's murder will not impact the process of normalizing Russia-Turkey ties. The UN Security Council is condemning in the strongest terms the terrorist attack and is calling for the perpetrators, organizers, and sponsors to be brought to justice. An update now on the Electoral College vote. The votes have been counted, and the result is the same. Donald Trump cruising to victory despite thousands of anti-Trump protesters who converged on state capitals across the country. Today's vote ensuring that the billionaire will become America's 45th president. The Electoral College has 538 members, with a number allocated to each state based on how many representatives it has in the House, plus one for each senator. Texas put the Republican presidential candidate over the 270 vote threshold that the president-elect needed for victory. Straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back. He'll have the official Suncoast forecast for the rest of the week. Plus, the city of New Orleans pays to settle civil rights violations committed by the city's police department. And a manhunt in South Florida for the person who attacked a Broward County sheriff's deputy. Stay with us.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Go ahead. Make a fashion statement. Demand something more than just ordinary. Capture elegance in every turn and drive with flair. Where beautiful styling is standard. Stop in and take a test drive. I'll guarantee you'll never go back to plain vanilla again. The all-new 2017 Fiat 500 starting at $14,999. Only at Sunset Fiat in Sarasota.
On horrendously cold nights, on days when the rain has been relentless, or when the sun is beating down, there is an animal trapped with no protection, fighting to stay alive. Time is running out for them, but you can help save them by joining the ASPCA today. With your donation of just $18 a month, you'll help rescue abused and neglected animals, provide them with food, shelter, and medical care. When you go online or call in the next 10 minutes, we'll send you this free membership kit and our limited edition 150th anniversary t-shirt. It's just 60 cents a day to pull animals out of a terrible life. Don't let them suffer another day. Please help now.
A poodle butter dish. I'll use this. A chicken purse. It's so artsy. You're really good at giving gifts.
This holiday, give the perfect gift.
Perfect.
Flowers, always the perfect gift. Beneva Flowers and Gifts, exceeding your expectations.
Bob, you showed us earlier, 91 degrees in Fort Myers today, setting a record.
So far, it seems to be the case, too. Setting a record, all-time record high for December, and that's Southwest Regional Airport. So it's a little bit further inland, east of I-75, but still 91 degrees, and the records have been kept since like 1902. Wow. So it's been a long time that they saw that all-time record high temperature. It's summer-like. Even the low temperatures were in the low 70s to mid-70s. Dew point temperatures up near summer-like readings. So yes, it's, what do they say, Christmas in July? Well, it seems like it's July temperatures. Van Wezel webcam showing a beautiful sunset tonight. And a foggy start this morning. Ron Ferner getting this shot on State Road 72, right on the road. And you can see visibility was down to near zero this morning in some of the roads, especially inland. So keep that in mind tomorrow morning, and we could see similar conditions, although I don't think it'll stick around as long. This was a great shot, again, from the top of the parking deck in Sarasota. James White getting that as the sun was setting. And a sundog shot by Cindy Desmond looking out over Sarasota Bay. You can see that what appears to be like a sun rainbow. It's a refraction and reflection of light from the upper level cirrus clouds composed of ice crystals. There is a cold front. It is moving through right now in north central Florida. These are showers and storms developing along what's left of the sea breeze front. We had a summer-like sea breeze develop this afternoon and caused a few showers around. Even a lone shower possibly right here developing near Sarasota. Some outflow from the earlier showers that were around. This is a rather intense storm too near Winter Haven, producing some lightning. We had some lightning strikes with that particular cell just over the past half hour or so, and that is starting to weaken somewhat. Now, the big concern for us will be fog tomorrow morning. Right now, the fog's starting to develop near Lake Okeechobee. It will spread off to the west, I do believe, through the night. 73, the dew point is at 71. The winds are out of the north at 8. That's kind of inhibiting the fog temporarily right now. And the pressure 30, 31. That's high, and that continues to rise. The high today, close to record high here, too, 83, and 1 degree shy of the record. Our normal high, 73 degrees, so we were well above that. And we'll continue to do so tomorrow. And even though the cooler air will start to filter in tomorrow late, we will still see temperatures slightly above average, I think, for the next several days. No rainfall to report. And for the month now, we're about a quarter inch below average. Temperatures, as far as the dew point goes, down to 35 in Pensacola. So there is some pretty cool and dry air to the north of us. But as I mentioned, this is a slow-moving front. And so it'll work through tomorrow. By the time it reaches us, the air mass will be modified considerably. And we're getting more in a zonal flow, so more west to east. And that means temperatures won't drop all that much. We need that north push to get really cold down here. We're not seeing that. Although it is in Pensacola, 43 there, 53 in Jacksonville, 74 now in Orlando at this hour. Temperatures all still into the low 70s to mid 70s. And with the dew point where it is, it's sure feeling like summer right now across parts of the Suncoast at this hour. Different story across the rest of the U.S. So a deep freeze, temperatures in the teens in Cleveland, St. Louis, Chicago, and also into Toronto this evening. Wind chill factor not a big deal because the winds have calmed down a bit, but at -1 in Chicago, it feels like -10 in Detroit at this time. And even Dallas, 26 degrees, that's what it feels like. For us, some fog around, a possibility of a few showers tomorrow. The rain chance not all that high, and then we'll start to see some of this cloudiness clear out of here by Thursday. I should say by Wednesday. Patchy fog developing tonight, and winds will be out of the northeast at 10 knots. Seas will be 2 feet in a light chop. Water temperature warming up, actually 73 degrees now, and the UV index will be 7 because of some clouds around. Upcoming tides, low tide at 11:36 and a high tide at 4:18, and the low tide at 12:03 tomorrow afternoon. Areas of fog developing, 68 for a low tomorrow. Some morning fog and warm, highs in the upper 70s still. A slight chance for showers comes tomorrow afternoon, clearing a little bit on Wednesday, first day of winter, and then it warms into the low 80s for Saturday and Sunday. Scott?
Okay, Bob, thank you. City of New Orleans will pay $13.3 million to settle civil rights violations committed by the city's police department. Those violations stem from deadly confrontations between police and unarmed civilians on the Danziger Bridge in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina 11 years ago. 6 civilians were shot to death in those clashes. The settlement announced today covers 17 plaintiffs, including wrongful death and personal injury claims. The payout by the city also includes money to the family of Raymond Robert, who was beaten to death before the storm.
In an effort to make sure that the people of the city of New Orleans know that we are going to change as a people and we are going to change as a city because we choose to.
During the news conference, the mayor apologized on behalf of the city for the incidents. In all, 20 New Orleans officers were charged with civil rights violations. The search is on in South Florida for the person who attacked a Broward County Sheriff's deputy. The assault happened during a traffic stop in Oakland Park. A spokesperson for the sheriff's office says the sergeant was taken to the hospital with injuries to his head and face. Deputies are focused on a particular area in the search for that suspect. A Florida woman accused of threatening the parent of a boy killed in the Sandy Hook school shooting because she thought it was a hoax, appearing in court today. Lucy Richards pleading not guilty in front of a U.S. District Court judge after being arrested earlier this month in Tampa on 4 felony counts of transmitting threats to the father of 6-year-old Noah Posner, who died in the 2012 mass shooting in Connecticut. Others linked to the Sandy Hook massacre have reported harassment by conspiracy theorists who claim that the event was staged to erode support for Second Amendment gun rights. In Washington, D.C., investigators are working to find out what started a fire that destroyed the historic District Yacht Club there. Around 3:15 this morning, flames shot out from the roof of the clubhouse. Within minutes, the fire had spread to all 3 buildings on the property. Firefighters were stalled by a lack of water access and low water pressure. Eventually, fireboats arrived and were able to pump water into the fire from the Anacostia River. Tonight, there's little left to salvage, and officials are calling it a complete loss. There's some good news for college grads tonight. Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen says graduates are entering the strongest job market the country has seen in nearly a decade. And Yellen says changes in the job market, like technology and globalization, make it more important than ever to pursue advanced degrees. Those with a college degree are more likely to find a job, keep a job, and have higher job satisfaction and higher salaries. Sports is coming up next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Tonight, a special show with the cast, director, and exclusive world premiere clips of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. What more can we do for you?
Google GoWildHonda.com. Lease a CRV for $219 during Wild's final clearance. Just $219 and 0 down. Now at GoWildHonda.com or visit Wild Honda, Sarasota. It's gotta be wild.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best-kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
Sarasota, we're uncorking something special at Michael's Wine Cellar and Tasting Room. Shop in a relaxed atmosphere with our wine specialists. You'll find 1,000 international wines, 200 under $20. National brand and boutique liquors at competitive pricing. Handcrafted beers. Stop by Michael's Wine Cellar and Tasting Room today and let us show you something exceptional.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Google GoWildHonda.com. Lease a Civic for $179 during Wild's final clearance. Just $179 and 0 down. Now at GoWildHonda.com or visit Wild Honda, Sarasota. It's gotta be wild.
Now, sports.
Hard to believe there are only 2 games left in the NFL regular season, and it appears the Buccaneers will have to win both of them to have a chance at making the playoffs. The Bucs turning the ball over 4 times last night in a 26-20 loss to the Dallas Cowboys, the loss breaking Tampa Bay's 5-game win streak. But what will stick in the craw of the Bucs this week are the missed opportunities to beat one of the best teams in the NFL before one of the biggest television audiences of the season.
You know, right now Dallas is the #1 seed, and, you know, we came to their place.
didn't play our best game. You know, had a chance in the fourth quarter, and we're not playing for chances. We're playing for keeps here. So, you know, I can only hope that this experience will help us, because we're gonna go to a tough venue next week when we go to the Dome in New Orleans.
Monday Night Football tonight. Carolina visiting Washington. With a win, the Redskins could move ahead of the Bucs in the wild card race, but they are behind now, 23-12 in the fourth quarter, and Carolina is looking to kick another field goal to increase their lead. In recent years, the Kelly brothers and friends have put on the All-Pro Baseball Camp during this Christmas week. More than 150 kids are taking part this year, but the number of professional players, managers, and scouts is getting up there too. Chris Kelly, who founded the camp with his brother Casey and their dad Pat, knows they can't teach everything in one day, but if the camp has an impact on the kids, then it has been a very successful day.
Guys get so many coaches, they have different things, but this is a chance for them to get around guys that have made it, you know, that have become professional players and that have picked up things along their way and have had several coaches that they can impart. Just if they can just learn one thing out here, you know, we hope they take it away from them, something they can take into their season when they come out in the spring.
This is the 8th year the group has held this clinic. Good job. At sports, we'll have a look at tonight's winning lotto numbers right after this. Stay with us.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
Florida Studio Theater presents Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves, celebrating fierce women with fierce vocals from the 70s through today. Featuring songs by performers such as Cher, Tina Turner, and Reba McEntire. Don't miss what critics are saying is a lively, high-energy driving review with powerhouse singers. Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves is now playing. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting floridastudiotheater.org.
The year is winding down, and that means big savings during the Big Finish event going on now at Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram in Sarasota. Ram trucks are built tough to help you conquer whatever the day may throw your way with all the comfort you'd expect in a luxury vehicle. And right now, all 2016 quad cabs are over 20% off, with new Ram trucks starting at just $19,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram in Sarasota.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Looking for carpet? Look no further. Minnesota Flooring has Smart Strand carpet as low as $1.79 per square foot. Installed, no add-ons or extras. Unbelievable? Minnesota Flooring can have in-stock carpet installed in your home in 48 hours for as low as $1.99 per square foot. Don't miss these prices. Visit Minnesota Flooring today.
A poodle butter dish. I'll use this. A chicken purse. It's so artsy. You're really good at giving gifts.
This holiday, give the perfect gift.
Perfect.
Flowers, always the perfect gift. Beniva Flowers and Gifts, exceeding your expectations.
Hey, I'm really glad that you're taking a few moments to check out this video about the ministry of First Sarasota, Downtown Baptist Church. I'm William Hill, lead pastor here at First Sarasota. For the last 15 years, it's been my privilege to share in the life of this faith community, a community that centers itself around faith, friends, and family. Indeed, it is a ministry that's been in existence right here in this wonderful city for over a century.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WindGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WindGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
The actor who portrayed the tights-clad Batman in the 1960s TV series is now selling paintings he's created of villains from the show. 88-year-old Adam West says his paintings capture the humor, zaniness, and depth of Batman villains. as well as the Freudian motivations of Batman himself. NASCAR's Top Series will be renamed next season. It will now be known as the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. The change in the name from the Sprint Cup Series comes with Monster Energy's new deal to be the title sponsor of NASCAR's top division. The new brand identity replaces the bar mark used by the sanctioning body since 1976. It was designed to pay tribute to the storied history of NASCAR, incorporating elements of all 4 previous marks. That'll take some getting used to. We've been saying Sprint Cup for quite a while.
Yeah.
But Monster Energy.
Yeah, be interesting to see that, yeah.
Yep. Thank you so much for being with us. Jimmy Kimmel is next. We'll hope to see you again tomorrow.